Welcome to the Swing Clinic. I'm your host, PGA golf professional Jimmy Hanlin.
And I'm Caroline Collins, and we're in Ohio at one of Jimmy's fabulous properties, Little Mountain Country Club. We have a lot to do today. We're going to learn how to hit the ball a little bit further and how to get around the greens a little bit better.
And transition in the golf swing is so important. From your backswing to your forward swing, it needs to be smooth. I'm going to help you with that. We're going to show everybody some good trouble shots of how to get it back in play really easily. Plus, special guest star high school athlete Andrew Keller. He's a stud on the basketball court, a great all-state quarterback. Golfer, maybe not so good. We're going to implement some good fundamentals and show him and you how much that can help your golf game.
All right, we got a lot to do. Let's go.
All right, Caroline, I like to start the show normally with how to hit the ball farther, because you know why? Because that's all anybody cares about is how to hit the golf ball further. It's just like from a typical golfer, 90% of the questions I get is how do I hit it further?
It makes it more fun. It makes the whole game more fun when you're hitting it further.
So you're one of those too, is what
Exactly.
you're telling me.
I used to only hit drives on the range when I was younger.
All right, so I'm going to start you with a 7-iron. Set up to your 7-iron right now. So I know she's like, hit it further with a 7-iron. What's that all about? So this is Caroline's typical setup with a 7-iron right here. As you see, she's kind of square. Her feet are, about shoulder length apart. It's a good setup. Her ball position is pretty good. It's probably just off of her logo, maybe a little forward to center. That's exactly where I want it to be. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to take the 7-iron out of her hands, though, and I'm going to put a driver down there. So now, what I want her to do is not much different. Go ahead and back up a little bit. Obviously going to get a little further away from the golf ball. There we go. Now what I want her to do from her 7-iron setup is I want her to take this right leg and we're going to go back a little bit. So let's put that right leg a little bit more. There we go. Now we're more solid in the way that we're set up. Next, what we have to do is, again, that 7-iron, right, Caroline, we were hitting down on it. The driver, we want to launch it into the air. So I want her to lean for me a little bit. So we're going to lean back. Her head's going to be behind the golf ball and her spine is going to be behind the golf ball, which is very important. If she stays leaned that way, that's going to allow her to hit up on the golf ball. Now, listen, I'm not that mean. I'm going to let her use a tee. I'm going to tee it up for you, all right?
Thank goodness.
So let's tee it up.
All right.
We're going to start all over again. Get in your 7-iron setup for me.
7-iron setup.
Yep.
That's
now,
where my 7-iron
drop
would be.
that right leg back a little bit more even. There you go, a little wider than she likes to be. I know, we're gonna get her there. Now, we're gonna tilt the head behind it right there. Now, here's the big key. This is the one thing I couldn't wait to tell you guys. Typically, Caroline, when someone wants to hit it really hard, they normally snatch that club up and take it back. Show me, that's exactly what it looks like. Now look at the position she's in right here. She's leaning this way. All that good setup that we've been working on is just history and gone because she hasn't rotated or turned it all. So let's put it back down. Let's show them how to do it properly. What I want to see her do is I want to see her be very deliberate in her backswing. So go ahead and take it back. I'm not going to let her go fast. There you go. Take it back nice and slow. Rotate in your backswing. Now look at the position she's got because that's happened. She's turned over her right leg. All of her weight is inside her right leg and inside her right thigh right now. That's a position from here where she can rip the golf ball. From here, not gonna happen, right?
Yeah, that's a disaster waiting to happen.
Yeah, right? From here, she's gonna be able to rip the golf ball. So number one is we got her set up in a good position. Let's do it. Set up in a good position. Leg drop back. Let's get that tilt a little bit for me. Good. Now a very deliberate, just slow, relaxed backswing. Let it rip.
All right, here we go.
Oh,
Ooh.
Man, that's the first golf ball I ever saw you hit. That was pretty good right there.
You just saw how Jimmy slowed down my backswing. Now when we return, we're gonna go that transition swing from the backswing to the forward swing. It's all coming up right here on the Swing Clinic. Welcome back. We're in Concord, Ohio, just outside of Cleveland, and you just saw how Jimmy slowed down my backswing to get more distance, but now it's all about that transition swing that's also going to play into more distance.
Yeah, you don't hit the ball with your backswing, right? So we got to get going from the backswing to the forward swing here, and there's some things that I think will help you do that and get the club in the right position so we can rip that driver again. I know it's your favorite thing to do. Set up to it. So where I'm going to start, Caroline, is I'm going to have her take the club right back to about hip high. So this is the position I want right here. And as you can see, this is a really good position. If she moves the club and her body moves at the same time, she's got herself in a good spot like we worked on in the right segment. Toes to the top of the sky right there is exactly what we want. It means it's square. Now from here, what do we want to do from here? Caroline, many people from here, they'll get to here, which is pretty good, but then they lift their arms. Show them what happens when they lift their arms. Again, we talked about this before.
It's a mess.
They lift their arms. They never really get turned behind a golf ball. It's like a baseball batter, you know, he just lifts his arms up in the air, he never gets rotated.
Now that was exaggerated, but yeah.
That's exactly right. Yeah, it's exactly right. So let's do it again. Let's get it to right here. So what I want Caroline to do from right here is, she's already got a good wrist cock because she gripped the golf club correctly and she made her first move away from the ball correctly. So now all we're going to do is we're going to rotate our shoulders. This right shoulder goes back, left shoulder goes under the chin. Now you'll see where Caroline's club is pointed right at the target line where we want to hit it. Her weight is over her right side, and that's the position we want to get her in. So that's a perfect position in the top. She rotated well. Now from here, here's the transition. This is where we get in trouble. If you want to really hit the golf ball hard, if I see you squeezing this golf club in these hands right here really tight, what's going to happen is you're going to throw the golf club. Show them what happens there, Caroline. There you go. You throw the golf club over the top. I didn't let her sling it from me, but you throw it over the top. As you can see, that club gets away from her body. Go ahead and do it again. It gets far away from her body. Her path goes in that direction, and you actually cut across the golf ball when that happens.
Yep.
If you're a slicer, that's what you're doing. Let's show them what we want to do. Go ahead and get it to the top again, Caroline. From here, believe it or not, I actually want to see the club fall backwards a little bit. It's going to go down. It's never going to go forward like this. Sergio's the best at this right here. It actually falls backwards and down a little bit. Then as Caroline starts her, downward move with her lower body, she's in a powerful position to be able to release it, sling that club through, and crush that driver. So again, take it to the top. Give me a little feeling of, there you go, down. That's a girl right there. Let that club fall backwards. Then from there, she's going to let it fly.
Create that lag, Jimmy.
Yep, that's exactly. That's the word, the lag. Yep. That's exactly right. Let me see you hit one just like that. She talked about it, lag.
There you go, it's that lag.
I should have had that word. She had that word.
It is.
Why didn't I have
I'm all
that
about,
word?
and I've lost that before in my game, and that's when things get messed up and you're all over the place.
Well, a lot of times it comes from squeezing that club and you don't allow those arms to fall and you throw them forward a little bit.
All right, Jimmy, now that you got me hitting it down the fairway very far, when we come back, we are gonna catch up with high school star athlete Andrew Keller, and we're gonna show him the fundamentals of the game of golf. We're at the beautiful 13th hole at Little Mountain Country Club just outside of Cleveland, Ohio. Andrew Keller, an all-state athlete, triple threat, basketball, baseball, football, is on the tee with Jimmy, but he hasn't played much golf. So Jimmy's gonna show you how an athlete can pick up on some easy fundamentals to help you get around the course a lot easier.
Hit it hard, dude, hit it hard. Look out, paging Dr. Wainwright. So tell me, Andrew, when you typically play golf, you played that much, right?
Yeah.
Not too much. So when you typically play, where's the ball normally go?
Always to the right. I usually slice everything.
You slice everything. All right, so again, Andrew's a really good athlete and he can adapt to things. And so you guys can too, though, when we just work on fundamentals. And so you're gonna be shocked at the difference that Andrew will see with just the basic changes in fundamentals. Go ahead and set up to it, Andrew. So first thing I wanna see with Andrew is I'm gonna fix his grip. We're gonna take this hand off all the way, and we're gonna turn this hand to where he can see two knuckles. He does a good job keeping his grip in the fingers, that's good, but we need to have it where you can see two knuckles. Now go ahead and put your other hand on there like you normally would. There you go, and just cover it. Now we don't wanna double, there you go, just one overlap right there. So he's got a pretty good grip, it was just really weak from a standpoint. Now, because Andrew, the reason he hits it right is he also cuts across the ball. So we want to square his stance up. So I want your shoulders square with your feet. So go ahead and turn that way, but turn your feet that way too. So this leg back, there you go, good. Just like that position. He's your typical guy that it always goes right, so he just keeps aiming more left, right? Trying to get it to not go left. So we want to get you a little more square that way. Good, so that's a good position there. Now for you, you swing hard, you create a lot of power. So let's get a little wider in our stance. So let your feet get a little wider so it can, help you with how hard you swing the golf club. So that's a pretty good position there. See how he's tilted here? Left shoulder stays a little forward. Good position from that standpoint. Now for you, it's real easy for a good athlete to want to hit the golf ball. Andrew's a great baseball player. He's a good hitter, and he's going to want to use those hands to do it. So what I want you to do is turn to the top and stop. Turn to the top. Good. So as you can see, he does a good job. He makes a pretty good turn, but we want him to make a really good turn. So I want you to turn over that right leg. Get that weight over that right leg. Start your downswing. Go ahead and start it. Feel your hands pulling right here. I want your hands to relax. I want your arms to swing, and I want you just to turn. So turn. There you go. Let those arms relax. That'll help you close that club face out. Take it to the start to the right and come back to the left. So again, start over the ball again. We got that good grip. Grip's in a better spot. Let's make a turn. There you go. It moves from that standpoint. Then on the way down, just let your arms relax. Turn back. Good. Come to this position right here. Baseball and golf are not that much different. A lot of the fundamentals are the same, but if he's gripping the golf club wrong and he's not getting in the right spot, it's not going to work. So set up to it. Strengthen that grip. Let's get it over there. Good ball position there. Make me a good swing. There you go. A lot closer. Good. Golf's a lot harder than you think, huh?
Yeah, it is.
So out of all the sports that you played, you know, I mean, you've been at a high level, all-state quarterback in football. I watched you score 55 points in a basketball game. Why is golf so much harder than these other sports?
It's not so much about just being athletic. There's a lot of technical things to go along with it.
Yeah. Fundamentals. See, my man, he could do my show for me right now. Fundamentals. If you get the grip right and you allow the arms to work the right way, I've got all summer to work with this guy, but you guys get those fundamentals correct, it'll work for you. All right, when we come back, we're going to go to the trouble shots and show you how to get out of it. All right, Caroline, what'd you get yourself into here?
Looks like a little bit of trouble, Jimmy.
Yeah, this is not good. Trouble shots, though, they're a big part of golf, and we can help you with them. But number one, you have to make the right decision. People get a little too aggressive. They overestimate their talent at times, right? So not that you're not very talented. I'm not saying that.
You want to go over the tree, not through
That's
the tree,
exactly
right?
We want to take all the guessing game out of it. So number one is I'm going to set Caroline up in a position so she can hit the right club. How far? This is about 120. What would you hit from 120?
A 9-iron.
A 9-iron. So 9-iron, a little iffy to get over these trees, right?
For sure.
So I actually have her 9-iron right here. I'm going to give you guys a quick little tip, something pretty cool to show you what you can, give you an idea how high you can hit it. Set your club on the ground, step directly on the loft of the club. That'll tell you about how far this ball should launch up to get over the trees. That's going to be pretty close from that standpoint. So we're not going to use this 9-iron. This thing's history. We're going to use the wedge. She's got the wedge in her hand. Secondly, we want to hit the ball higher. Go ahead and set up to it. What I want you to do is, I want that ball position a little bit forward. So if you normally play it in the middle, I want it maybe about an inch forward of where you do. Not too far because you're going to skull it, but up just a little bit. Next, I want maybe 60-40 on your right foot. Again, we're trying to launch the ball and add loft to this shot a little bit to get it up in the air. So 60-40 from there. Lastly, we can swing at this a little bit. You know, we want to create spin and we want to hit it up in the air. So when you're trying to hit it high, we want to hit it hard. You know, I mean, we want to hit a hard wedge here, but under control enough to where you're going to hit it solid, right? So hard shot, but solid. So we've changed our position right here. We understand that the club's the right club. Let's go ahead and rip it up over those trees. Oh, good shot. Really good.
Nice and clean.
Did he get up there? Maybe in that bunker, but you know what? That bunker is better than hitting these trees and coming back at you.
It sure is.
So good shot for sure. All right, so we got out of the trees from a standpoint hitting over them. I'm going to take you over into the trees on the left side and see if you can hit a low hook, all right?
All right, let's do it.
Let's go. All right, Caroline, trouble again. You almost hit it on the road.
Jeez, almost out of bounds.
Don't worry about
What
the
am I
road.
doing?
But again, so we've got this tree in front of us. So it's just the opposite of what we just worked on from a standpoint of hitting it high. So now we have to do different things, hit it low. Again, my little trick, throw this thing on the ground right here. What club do you have?
Now, I have a 7-iron.
Oh, give me that thing. I'm going to prove you wrong instantly right here. 7-iron right here. Watch me stand on this. Watch where that goes. That is definitely going to catch those bottom branches right there.
That's not good.
So let's go 5-iron. Again, we want to be safe here. The key is to get it out. We don't want it to go in those bunkers, but that's worst case scenario. Mainly, we don't want to hit this tree right here. So go ahead and set up to it.
So this is something that keeps it lower, the
5-iron is going to keep it lower for sure, okay? Number one is you don't want to hit this shot hard. If you hit this shot hard, it's going to create speed, it's going to create spin, the ball's going to go up in the air. So we just want a nice, relaxed, good tempoed golf swing right there, okay? Secondly is we'll move it back in our stance just a little bit, not too much, just a little bit. But I want you to lean. See the zipper on your shirt? I want you to lean there, but here's the key. Take the club back. The zipper has to stay there all the way to the top and all the way to the downswing. It stays in front. That keeps your hands in front, and that's gonna keep the ball coming out in a low, flight right there, okay? Last but mostly, probably most important, your finish. Nice high finish is gonna kick that ball right into this tree right here, okay? So we want you to finish low below your left shoulder right here. So your finish will make that ball come out low. So again, don't hit it hard, really key. We're not trying to create speed here. Hit it easy, take more club, all right? Let's see you do it. Ball position back, good, good. Low finish. Good. Avoided the tree, got it down towards the green, which is important, but just missing this tree is the most important thing.
Yeah, you want to go under it, not through it, or over it.
Yeah, that's exactly right. You don't want to go through it, not through for sure. Now we're going to go to the green. We're going to work on your short game all next, right here on the Swing Clinic.
Welcome back to the Swing Clinic. It's our last segment. We've showed you how to get around the golf course with some full swing tips. Now it's time to show you how to get around the greens.
Yep. Tough, 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 tight fairway shots. Do you know the difference between chipping and pitching?
I feel like I do, but I'm going to let you take care of that.
So chipping, we want the ball to start low and just run to the hole. Pitching, yeah, sometimes you would consider that little check shot that people hit. It's going to fly a little further in the air. So there's two different things. Chipping and pitching are actually the opposite. So we're going to start with chipping right here, okay? We're right off the green. And I would tell you that I'm not totally against putting this ball, first and foremost, okay? But let's, sometimes there's some rough grass. A lot of people don't really like to putt it. So I want you to go ahead and set up to your chip shot right here. I'm going to show you some things that make it a lot easier to chip the golf ball. Number one is, let's get your shaft a little more vertical as you're setting up to it. So we want to get this way. So we're going to get you a little closer to the golf ball. So go ahead and set up and get a little closer to the golf ball. Number two is that I kind of like to see a weak grip here. I'm not a big fan of changing the grip a lot. So we're going to take this hand off. We're going to get a little weaker in our left hand and a little weaker in our right hand. That'll just make sure that we're not flipping that club over as much and closing it, okay? So a little bit taller to the golf ball. There you go, perfect. Stand a little closer. Now we're just gonna have her lean a little bit. So we're gonna lean this way and we're gonna stay on that left side. So when you learned how to play golf the first time, what did you learn about? You learned about this triangle right here. This triangle moves. Well, that's what we're gonna have all Caroline is gonna do right now. No wrist motion in this. We're gonna take some practice swings, and all I want her to do is just swing this triangle back and through. Good, swing the triangle back and through. We want no wrist motion at all in this. What we wanna do is we wanna bump this ball onto the green, and we're gonna let it roll to the hole, okay? So ball position is gonna be about middle or a little bit back. Club-wise, you could go anywhere from a 7-iron up to a sand wedge. I know you have sand wedge right here. 7-iron to sand wedge. So get that club vertical.
All right.
Move this triangle. No risks in this shot at all. That's a chip shot. Very good. Now, that got up in the air a little bit just because the loft of club that we put in her hands. Now, if you struggle with this shot, I have a lot of friends that struggle with this shot. Do you?
I do too.
It's a very tough shot.
It is a tough shot, and it's one that you need so badly.
Yep, when you get it so close to the green, and it should be an easy par, right? I'm gonna give you one more quick chipping tip right here. Go ahead and set up to it. Do everything that we just talked about, right? Do everything exactly the same. All I'm gonna have you do is I'm gonna actually have you toe the club in a little bit. Toe this club in just a little bit. This is just for chipping. It will make it easier to make that quick, solid contact. So aim the club so you know, because it is toed, but toe the club in, there you go. Get that shaft a little more vertical. I want you straight up and down, and I want you to do the exact same thing. Good.
Ooh.
Toeing the club in, give you a little more, it's easier to make that solid contact, right? So easier to make the solid contact, and also the ball's gonna roll out because you've kind of shut the club face on it a little bit. So,
yeah.
All right, let's walk back. I'm gonna do a little pitching with you right now. A little
here we go.
longer swing. All right, Caroline, so now we're to the pitch. The chip is the one we want it to roll a little bit. The pitch is gonna carry a little bit farther, and we're gonna want it to stop a little bit. We don't want to land it in this fringe, we want to land it on the green.
I think this is more my style.
Just more your style. All right, go ahead and set up to it. So a little further shot. So I want you to do the same thing. I want the grip to be a little weaker. So go ahead and weaken the grip, which means let's turn it over here a little bit. We don't want to turn that face. Now with this shot, I actually want you to open the face a little bit because we want to use that bounce. That bounce of the wedge is really important. So we're gonna open the face a little bit, we're gonna weaken the grip. Believe it or not, I want you to move it up in your stance a little bit here. Yeah, just a little bit, good. And I want you to get a little closer to it, so we definitely are getting that shaft a little more vertical. Now when we take the club back, there's a little hinge, but I don't want it getting crazy. I just want a little bit of an arm swing and a hinge to here, and really allowing that thud to happen at the bottom, and you're gonna hear that because you're using the bounce of the club.
Using that bounce,
Using the
yes.
bounce, okay? Now there's more speed here, so this ball could even spin on you depending on the, you know, if it's wet, like unfortunately it is here, or dry, you'll be able to spin a little more. But let's get a, and the thing that Caroline does that I really like is, I see so many people open way up and that club goes straight up in the air. Leave your stance pretty square. We don't want to be too open. She stays pretty square. That's what I want to see too, because now that club will just work a little to the inside. The club stays outside her hands very easily, and it's a lot easier to swing it right on your target line. If you open, you got to push it out there. We don't want that to happen. So let's stay square. So again, same thing that she was doing. We're going to open the club face, weaker grip, getting very vertical with the shaft, create a little speed at the bottom. Good. Good. See that ball, how that ball flew a lot higher and it landed a lot softer. Your first swing clinic.
Awesome.
Nice
Thanks for
job.
having me, Jimmy.
I hope you had fun
I had a
for
blast.
sure. And I hope all you guys had fun watching us this week on the Swing Clinic.